Today I want to give a short overview of the Attack Shark R5 Ultra and explain what kind of mouse this actually is. On paper, this is a very lightweight gaming mouse. The manufacturer claims around 39 grams, a modern sensor, up to 8,000 Hz polling rate, and overall the specs look very serious. So this is not just some random cheap mouse just to have one. It is actually quite an interesting device for people who like trying something new and different. Especially when you consider that this is not one of those expensive, heavily promoted gaming mouse brands like Final Mouse or Pulsar, but a more affordable option for enthusiasts who want a light and responsive mouse without paying extra just for the name. I'll say this honestly from the start. I personally use a first-generation Logitech G Pro X Superlight, so I do have something familiar to compare it with. And I'm not comparing them based on marketing or specs alone, but on how they actually feel in real use. Speaking about personal impressions, when I move the cursor very quickly left and right, it feels to me like the Attack Shark stops a little more sharply. I also get the impression that its responsiveness feels slightly snappier. I want to be clear here. I'm saying this as a personal impression, not as some laboratory-tested conclusion. But based on feel alone, that is genuinely how it seems to me. The Attack Shark feels a bit more precise when it comes to sudden stops and quick direction changes. At the same time, the Logitech G Pro X Superlight is still a very familiar and proven mouse for me. It is the kind of device you get used to, the kind that has already earned its reputation, and overall it works in a very stable and predictable way. But the Attack Shark does not look weak next to it. On the contrary, it can actually surprise you, especially if you look at it as a more affordable option for someone who wants something light, fast, and modern. But there is one important detail I definitely want to mention. In my experience, the Attack Shark is more demanding when it comes to the mousepad. For example, on my Logitech, I replaced the skates with Sol-Wit glass mouse skates made specifically for the G Pro X Superlight. And now that mouse moves very well even on the cheapest Chinese mousepad. But the Attack Shark with its stock skates feels like it really wants a good quality mousepad. So in this case, the surface really does matter. I'm not going to pretend that I'm some kind of hardcore expert on skates, mouse feet, or premium mouse pads, because that is not really my main field. But in practice, I can say this. After upgrading to proper glass skates, the Logitech became much less picky about the surface, while the Attack Shark with the stock feet definitely feels like it needs a better pad to perform the way it should. Overall, I think this mouse is pretty good. In fact, my son plays with it in Rust, and at one point he clearly said that it suits him more than enough. And for me, that is already a solid real-world indicator. If someone is gaming on it and is fully satisfied, then the device is doing its job. At the same time, I would not idealize it. There have already been comments online about this brand. Some people questioned the marketing, some raised doubts about certain specifications, and about how accurately everything is presented in the product description. There was also a fairly simple review on Tech Nuovo, where the author expressed some doubts about certain points as well. So the right way to approach it is in a calm and realistic way. The mouse is interesting, the mouse is definitely usable, but I would not treat it as some flawless, perfect product either. My conclusion is this. The Attack Shark R5 Ultra is an interesting, lightweight, and fast gaming mouse that is definitely worth trying if you want something affordable, but still genuinely lively in terms of feel and response. It is especially a good option for enthusiasts who enjoy testing different devices and looking for good products outside of only the most expensive brands. But at the same time, a good mousepad is highly recommended. This was a mini review from AnderMaxPC. Bye, see you soon.